the fourth, and this is under the CNCF code of conduct that basically says you behave and don't be a jerk. And let's see what are the topics for today. We have the first topic is include sick leads as voting CNCF maintainers. I know that Benjamin was tracking this. I don't know if anybody else has more context.
Um, the context that I can provide is we started the discussion with CNCF and we asked them to add the current leads as the voting members. And we're currently waiting for the response back from the CNCF. The reason that I added, or we've decided to add this topic here, was to double check with the CNCF because since last Ben comment on the issue, and that issue I'll put it in the Slack, is also linked in the agenda. Ben's last comment is from April 28th, which means there's been over a month and we haven't heard back from the CNCF. So we just need to make sure that and follow up with CNCF. Are they working on this thing? The problem in general with that is that they currently have, they being CNCF, this process was very manual. So either it's taking this long because it's manual or it hasn't been started. And so that's a thing that we just need to follow up with them. If Ben will show up, we can double check with him. If not, we should probably just ping him about another ping to CNCF. The steering was also in the CC of the email, if I remember correctly. And that has been without any response since that email from the 28th. So
Who is
that's
the contact for these things? Or there is CNCF appoints one liaison between this, or is
oh,
just an email?
so there's a separate alias, which is where we are sending all the information regarding maintainer changes. It is cncf-maintainer-changes at cncf.io. That's the one that we're in contact with. I believe behind it might be served by a couple of people. But Jiffy and or Bob being our primary contacts with the CNCF. There's Ben. Hey Ben, have you heard anything about the maintainer updates from CNCF? Because we're just talking that it's been over a month.
Yeah.
And we basically, the goal of this point in the agenda was to make sure that we ping CNCF again, given that we haven't heard back from since April 28th.
Yeah, I spoke to our reps. They have seen it, but the person at CNCF who's supposed to handle this is backlogged and it's really highly manual. They usually don't have this scale. Um, they mentioned again that they're expecting that possibly by like the end of the year, there'll be like a self-manage option. I'm thinking what we do is after this call, I'll generate the list again and send a quick like informal follow-up. I don't think we need to like draft a agreed steering email. We can just say, here's the updated list. And, like nudge, like I could just send that as myself. I think that's sufficient for reminding that and also accomplishing that if they haven't moved it by now, it was a week or two ago when I talked to them. Then we should also update the list because there have been lead transitions. And instead of trying to do the delta, I think we should just send them the full list again. And there's a little command to do that, so that's straightforward.
Yeah, agreed.
All right, wait, this year has not been kind. I just got off a root canal last night. I'm a little out of it.
Okay, I think that this topic we can move on to the next topic that is about 2025 elections. So this seems
Yes,
that
I
we are looking for election officers, and I don't know who has more context in the topic that can explain it.
so basically Josh posted a started a thread about a week ago, last Thursday specifically, and announcing that we are very close to 2025 elections. The elections will happen most likely after the summer holidays, so towards the end of the Q3, probably like towards the end of August, early September, when we will be accepting nominations for the current steering. Uh, if I remember correctly, myself, Patrick, Paco, and Steven are out of rotation, so we will be running 4 seats this year. And what Josh was asking and specifically pointing out in his thread was basically that they are looking for election officers. He did mention that they are missing currently one another at least. If there will be more, that will be awesome. So if anyone is interested in helping with the steering elections, that will be great. And the help will be very greatly appreciated. The past steering members, Chris, wink, wink, looking at you, uh, are potentially good candidates that could be helpful running the elections. And the other topic that Josh pointed out is that he would like to be able to somehow expose the current candidates to the voters. Currently, what we do, each and every single candidate writes a short bio with information that is part of the template. But what Josh is thinking, and we're usually doing some kind of one of the next meetings we will do an open ask me questions about steering in general, uh, which is meant to help the candidates, the voters, uh, to get the questions answered. I believe Josh was also talking that maybe we will do additional video panels or interviews or something in the blog to help us promote and the candidates, and hopefully in the long run get more people voting in the steering elections, because uh, the number, if I remember off the top of my head, there was like something slightly above 30% was the rate of people who voted for the steering out of the entire um, eligible voters. So if you have some ideas how we could pull together, or you want to help with either of those two or both, I would probably just talk to Josh, because I'm guessing that Josh will be one of those people running the steering elections later this year. And I can also I linked the Slack thread in the agenda, but I also pasted it in the chat for those interested.
Okay, if there are no more questions, I think that there are no more topics, but we have in the top of the agenda, we have some topics from students that say confirm that follow items can be closed. So let's go with that list. And the first one is follow up on Kubernetes Twitter account. Anybody has some context on that?
That it depends on when that was added. There's been multiple things with the Twitter account. So the first one was that it was taken over from the CNCF. For a long time, the CNCF ran the Twitter account, and eventually it was agreed that they handed it off to SIG Contrabex and the Contrabex comms team. So there was some follow up to like get that resolved. There was a more recent discussion about surfacing Blue Sky on the community website. We also did that. So I don't think there's anything to follow up here. We might ping the Contravex comms team to make sure there isn't anything outstanding. But I'm not aware of one, and I've been intermittently in touch with them. I'm not sure who our actual liaison is off the top of my head, though.
I believe
So
we covered all the topics related with the Twitter. And because there has been a couple of discussion about whether Twitter should be removed from all the comms places and whatnot. And I remember that the Contravex took ownership of that, and basically they said that we want to maintain presence in all available places because various people will use various communication mediums. So limiting ourselves is definitely not something that is worthwhile for us as a community to pursue at this point in time.
Antonio, you're actually the liaison, by the way, for Contravex.
okay, so this is an action item on me. So
You should
happy.
probably get to them about this. I don't think we have anything super immediate though. Yeah, that we agreed with Contravex that we should maintain all the platforms, but we did make sure that we're also surfacing some of the newer ones we've added, like Blue Sky, that are other options. Um, that
Okay,
was
so
that was a pretty long back and forth on that, but as far as I know, that's all resolved.
So I will follow up and check if we can do follow up with them and close if
This one is literally closed.
which one?
Number 212 here. Like
Hold
it's
on,
a
Ben.
link to an issue which
Don't
is
jump.
closed.
Don't jump. Let's close
No.
the next one because I just double checked. We have all the election issues and PRs closed. So I believe
Okay, next
we can
item
drop this entire one as well.
is clean up all election issues and PRs. Who Maciek, you were commenting on that.
Yeah, I just checked it up. We have all the issues and all the PRs closed and handled, so we can drop this particular one.
Okay, this one can be closed. Then next one, this is steering 212 approach to I don't know, I cannot read. What is about
they're
approach to
closed out.
handling. Oh, this is closed. Okay, good. We are being very efficient today. Okay, follow up on.
It's also closed.
Oh, this is closed.
That's
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
I don't know why
related with
that's
the
there.
previous one as well.
Yeah, I think we haven't been using this field very heavily versus the main agenda below.
Yeah.
Okay, and the next one that seems to be the more juicy one. How do we get current? Oh,
I think
I
this
don't
is from when
understand
the
that.
annual report had a lot more questions in it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not doing
I
that
cannot
currently.
parse this sentence. What does it mean? Can somebody
Well, so
translate
since
that?
if you look at the next line, it says meeting times. So I think this is from the annual report used to have a lot more questions that you were supposed to fill out as a SIG to check in on all this stuff. And so this is talking about if you have like gaps between what you're reporting and what's documented, that sort of thing. But that's not how the annual report works for maybe 2 years now. We wound up dropping most of the questions because it's been hard enough to get SIGs to cover it. And for things like meeting times, those should just be handled on an ongoing basis anyhow.
Correct.
Also,
Okay,
since
so
then, we don't rely as heavily, I think, on the meeting times in the doc because we usually point people to the community calendar and we have things there.
so can we close that then?
Yep.
Yeah, I think we can close that out.
Okay.
I think we actually have resolved all of these like pretty far in the past, and this like section didn't get cleaned up versus the notes further down the doc.
What is this boson? What boson means? I don't even know what.
You're the boson currently. The boson is the
Yeah.
person that is running the meeting and is responsible for making sure the agenda is up to date. Is the person announcing on on the steering channel, making sure that the meeting is recorded, is actually running the call. I believe there's a couple of additional items that if you're interested, you can read through them, but I believe it's in a steering.
Yeah, we have a doc that kind of tells you how you're supposed to run it. I don't know what someone wanted updated in this doc. It might be good to look at any regardless, but like, I mean, it's pretty basic. It's almost the same as just like if you're running a SIG meeting.
Yeah.
I linkified the doc.
Okay, cool. Then this makes us to the end of the agenda. Is anybody in the meeting that wants to talk about any topic, something they are worried about?
I believe a reminder to entire steering to review the node lifecycle working group. I'll paste it in the agenda and in the chat as well. There's a proposal. There are still a couple of I was talking with Philip earlier today. There are still a couple of topics that they need to close and sync with the SIG node. I'm guessing that they will be doing that during the next call. But it will be good for us to already slowly start reviewing this thing to make sure that it matches the usual requirements for establishing a working group.
There's
Is
also
any
the
other? Oh, sorry, man.
same thing to take. I think Antonio already commented, but there's an outstanding PR from SIG at CD that needs review in community. It's related to governance. So
I think that there was some miscommunication, and I think in the latest comments the things are getting more clear. And well, I asked for clarification, but it's good that the steering read about that. I don't think that is the way that I'm understanding now the proposal is that they want to do like a leads forum before the announcements on successions and all this stuff. And I don't think that's going to be much controversial. But as I said, there are words and interpretations, so I think that it's important that everybody have a clear understanding on the proposal.
yeah, I don't think the proposal was controversial. I think the location of it is because if you start moving governance out to another repo, then the next change to governance isn't being reviewed.
Yeah, no, okay, so sorry. I think that the misunderstanding was with that, but what the person pushing the proposal is asking is not something,
Yeah, what they have
that
written actually basically tracks with what we have documented for lead transition, so there really isn't much to document there. I do think it is a little bit of a problem to say we're going to have governance MD outside of the community repo and that we're directing there because that opens the door for other more controversial changes to be introduced without review.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I think that was
I think needs
the
follow up.
misunderstanding, and because the last
Okay.
comment, the person is saying, "No, I am fine with adding this to the if we change this in the community," and the
Okay.
changes he's proposing. I think that the
Okay.
only thing is that the words can be for non. I don't know if it's an English native thing or non or whatever, but no, there are words like open, transparent, group, and things that for me are confusing. So I think that a bit of language or help from somebody that is able to express this thing better will be very useful to come to a conclusion.
Well, my point was just that folks on steering should take a look at that. Since this one way or another that PR needs to review and hopefully merge along with the proposal for node lifecycle.
Okay, well, it's if there are no more topics or anything else, I think that we can take these 30 minutes back and well, talk to you in 1 month.
I sent the follow-up, by the way, so that agenda item is resolved. Regarding the maintainer updates, I went ahead and regenerated the list and sent that out, so that's resolved. Hopefully, we'll hear back from the CNCF before the next meeting.
One more thing, we need to pick a bosun for the next call to make sure.
When is it?
Early July. I will not put my name there because I'm out early July.
Yeah, I think I'm out.
I will try to do it again. I think
I
that
even removed it from my calendar. So
Yeah, it looks like the 2nd. I'm probably out.
I will try to do it.
yeah,
If
July 2nd.
just give me a
That's a U.S. holiday week.
Oh, Friday is the 4th. Yeah.
Yeah, and some places have other like alternate days as well. So
Okay, I'll put Antonio as the bosun for the next one as well. Cool.
okay. Well, I don't have the button to stop the recording, but I think that
I'll stop the
thank
recording.
you, Maciek, for your help. My first steering committee meeting as host. So apologize for the problems. See you in 1 month. Goodbye.